are living in a very fast and changing society. We don't realize, but it's only been a decade that smartphones enter our lives and change it forever. And this rate of change is going to increase exponentially over time. I just can't imagine what our life would be 20 years, 30 years down the line. We could be living in a dystopian world with violence everywhere due to sudden change in climate, or we would be living in a utopian world where everybody is living a life of purpose and happiness. And hard to predict which extreme we would be. But the one thing that is certain that it would be much different than the present. And this is also true for professional career. Predicting what skills would be required in future for a successful career is very hard. Many jobs are getting automated and you will need to constantly update your knowledge and skills to be relevant. And even 10 years before when I graduated from IIT Delhi, it was still manageable, but with your generation is going to be, things are going to be changed very fast. And if we see that only in a couple of years, so many new technology have entered our life, like blockchain technology, AI is coming up really fast, mRNA based vaccines help us get out of this pandemic, right? It's actually a big achievement for a medical fraternity that a pandemic on the global scale ended in only 2 years. So whatever hot technology you are learning right now might become redundant or get replaced in a decade or so. And I don't want to sound discouraging to you, but that's the reality we live in. So now the question is what we can do to survive, thrive in these uncertain reality, right? And I faced the same existential crisis some 7, 8 years before when I actually failed to crack the UPSC exam in 2014. And after that, I embark on a journey to find the answer as to what I can do to live a meaningful life. And the conclusion of my research is that the ultimate goal of education should be to impart three permanent skills. And these skills will help you handle uncertainty and find the answer to whatever questions life throws at you. And believe me, life is going to throw the curveball at every 3 or 4 years of your professional life. And the three skills that I think is going to help you in handle those situations is emotional intelligence, critical thinking, and learning effectiveness. So these are the area that we work on. Okay, so let me give you the clarification here only that I'm not saying that you shouldn't learn whatever the college is teaching you. You should learn the subject that are being taught in the engineering or part of your curriculum. Learning basics of your branches and learning basics of engineering and being updated on current technology is an absolute must. What I'm saying is that these three skills will help you throughout your life and make it easy to navigate uncertain life that you are going to live in. So these three skills are going to be the number one priority or should be the number one priority of any educational institute. And this is why we have devoted our life to impart these three skills to the students, and that is why we are bringing this leadership program to the college student, which is generally done with the mid-level or senior level executive in the corporate. And just don't take my word on the face value. So let me explain you briefly my point why I'm saying these are the three most important skills. So let me start with the emotional intelligence. The word emotions come from the Latin word immovere, which means that emotion is something which moves us. So that is why you might punch someone in the face when you are angry and not when you are calm. So that punch is preceded by that emotion of anger because that anger literally moves you into that fight. And we so much talk about that we are not finding motivation to work on your goal. But what is motivation? Motivation is ultimately the effect of positive emotions, right? So the way we define emotional intelligence is that it is the ability to understand, use and manage your emotion in a positive way to retrieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, and overcome challenges and diffuse conflicts. And let me again emphasize my point with two studies. There is a recent study by Talent Smart that emotional intelligence plays the biggest role in performance when compared to 33 other workplace skills. And these included all the hard skills that you guys might be learning. And they found that emotional intelligence influences 58% of success across every type of job. So whatever your goal is, emotional intelligence is going to be responsible for at least 50% of your success. And one of the other studies recently done by Harvard Business School, and it is found that 65% of the startup actually fails because of the conflict between founders. So if entrepreneurship is something that excites you, then also emotional intelligence is going to help you, right? And the next skills that we are talking about is the critical thinking. In a sense, critical thinking requires you to use the ability to reason. It is about being an active learner rather than a passive recipient of information. And we are living in a golden age of misinformation. So critical thinkers rigorously question ideas and assumptions rather than accepting them at face value. They will always seek to determine whether the idea, argument, and finding represent the entire picture, and they are open to finding that they do not. And this is the skill that I think is very necessary skill for being a responsible citizen of a democracy. Okay, so about critical thinking, you might feel that you have learned critical thinking as you all are students of science and engineering, and you are the students of premier IIT Kharagpur. But in my opinion, in my experience, even IITians who are best and brightest of the country in logic and rationality don't know how to think critically or how to think scientifically, how to question your own beliefs, how to change them and align them with objective reality. Even in my case, I understand what we mean by scientific learning methods after I had graduated from IIT Delhi, because nobody taught me when I first read the Stephen Hawking's book about time. Then I realized what exactly we mean by scientific methods. I know you won't like to hear it, but this is what have been my experience. And it's not your fault as such. We were never taught critical thinking explicitly. It was just assumed that over the course of learning science, we learn it, but it does not happen. And that is why so many IITians or even the academic believes in the pseudosciences because they can't differentiate it because it was not directly taught to them. And lastly, the third skills that we think is very must is the learning effectiveness. And what I mean by learning effectiveness is that understanding about brain and cognition so that you understand how our brain learns new things. We have made a course on brain module. It is on Udemy, so I'm not going to discuss much about this because in any way leadership effectiveness does not directly focus on learning effectiveness. So these are the three skills that I think is going to help you navigate throughout your life. It's going to help you handle the stress of life, and it is going to help you live the life of meaning and purpose. So these are the permanent skills we are talking about. So we are going to focus on emotional intelligence, critical thinking, and we are going to use them and we are going to learn decision making, communication skills, cooperation, negotiation, and ultimately getting clear on what you want in life, what is your purpose, and how to achieve your goals. Because leadership is all about achieving the goals. Elon Musk is so famous and is the is such a big celebrity in the business world because he do what he says. He achieved those goals, whatever far-fetched that goals might be. So the purpose of this program is ultimately to make you ready for the life of purpose, happiness, authenticity, and get you ready for all the uncertainty that life throws at you, and it's going to throw the curveball at every junction of your life. So this is what you can expect from the program. To discuss the structure and the content of the program, I would like to hand over the stage to Akansha. Akansha, over to you.
Thank you very much, Yogesh, for beautifully explaining what the students can get out of this program once they decide to enroll themselves. So far, first of all, let me definitely thank all of you, all the participants for joining us today, and definitely thank you to the whole team and Vishal for helping us organize this introductory session with you. Moving forward, as you already got to know what you will get out of this program, let me take it forward and share what are the contents of this program. So, there are 5 principles that we will be introducing you with during the whole course of the program. And these principles are clarity. Yogesh, if you could take it to the next slide.
I'm on the next time.
Should I continue?
Can you
Awesome.
see my screen, because I think I've
Yeah.
moved on.
You took it few more slides ahead. Now, can you take it a slide back?
This one.
No, this one is clarity.
There's some problem with
Yep. Now we are on a right slide. Okay, so the 5 principles that we want to introduce you with of leadership effectiveness are clarity, honesty, ownership, commitment, and win-win. And let me tell you in brief, let me explain you in brief each of these principles. Starting with the clarity. Clarity, the way we define at alternative leadership, consists of 4 things. First one is being clear on what you want in granular detail. Next slide, Yogesh.
I think there's some problem because I'm following you.
But the slide is lagging behind. No worries, I'll guide you if it's ahead of me or not. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so take it on the present mode now.
I was on present mode, so there's definitely some problem.
Yes, now it is on point. So the very first point that consists under clarity is being clear on what you want to a granular detail. Second point is being clear on why it is important to you. As Viktor Frankl says that if you are clear, if you know your why, you can survive anyhow. So clarity or motivation behind your action is really important. Third aspect is being clear on what you're willing to pay in order to achieve your goals. And believe me, there are no free lunches in this world. Every goal you want to pursue has a price associated with it, whether it's your time, physical or mental effort, or literally the monetary price. So, being clear on the prices that you need to pay is important. I saw this as I began my career with students who were preparing for IIT and NEET. I saw this when students were preparing for JEE and uh, other competitive exams. Most of them started with very full enthusiasm but failed to sustain it. because they were not clear with the prices that they need to pay. Those were studying long hours and sacrificing social life. And I'm sure you have been through this. So, coming to the fourth aspect, which is being clear on time frame. Difference between a dream and a goal is of timeline. If you have no timeline, then you can't progress. You must have observed this time effect of timeline when you are doing your projects. Your efficiency improves manyfold as there is a time limit. And let me, so if I give you a statement of clarity here, a statement like I want to open my venture or I want to start my own venture would not be a statement of clarity in the way we defined it. Clarity would mean, or a statement of clarity in the way we define would sound like, I want to start my own venture in the next 6 months because I want to be independent, financially independent, and I want to create a better world. And I love solving real life problems, real world's problems. To achieve this, I'm willing to bear the uncertainty of success and failure and ready to put in the hours that are required. So, this would mean a statement of clarity. Coming to the second principle, which is honesty. The way, Kabir, next slide. The way we use honesty is slightly different from the normal usage. And we use the word honesty. We not only mean honesty with other people, we also mean honesty with ourselves. Honesty is looking at the situation as it is so that you are neither overreacting or underreacting. So let me give an example. Like final year students who are looking for placements, opportunity in their placements, may at every interview may see the situation as life and death, and this is an over reaction or overstatement in a way, because it is going to hamper their performance in all the process, whether it's the interview or getting shortlisted, preparing your resume and everything. Or there would be some students who don't start preparing for job interviews until the last minute because they are underreacting or underestimating the whole process, the preparation that takes to get a best opportunity out of the interview time. And this is complacency. It is also dangerous. Underreacting and totally not giving your 100% is also dangerous. So generally our beliefs and biases comes in the way of looking at the situation objectively. Therefore, honesty also consists of four aspects. First, separating the facts from the situation, from your own beliefs and biases. Second, to listening to your own emotion without suppressing them. And believe me, we have been conditioned to suppress our emotion more than to act on it, or to more than express it. So listening to your emotion without suppressing them. Third aspect is listening to feedback rather than dismissing it. We have all been either scolded or punished in a form of feedback whenever we did something which was not a right way of doing it. And the only verbal feedback we start getting is once we enter job markets, once we enter or once we start our career. And then a lot of us don't even know how to take that feedback, how to process it. And what is the common behavior that we have seen as a reaction is people dismiss it, or people take it to the very personal of them. So listening and understanding the process of listening to the feedback rather than dismissing it. Fourth aspect is the element of honesty is looking at the results neutrally without going into denial. If you did not crack the first interview, you will eventually crack another interview or the next interview. I have seen since I recently completed my MBA, and the whole 2 3 months where the placement time was there, I have seen how anxiety just rushes to the top of the world, top of the point where you cannot even handle, where you cannot even understand how you're behaving, how you're coming across, and how cutthroat the competition becomes because everyone wants to get the best job. And the whole time when everyone is preparing for placements, you come to see the real colors, real characters of people. So, honesty is looking at the situation neutrally without going into denial. If I'm not able to crack one interview, it doesn't mean that I would not get a job. If I am not even able, I'm not able to speak in any one interview without getting stressed, it doesn't mean that you will repeat the similar behavior in subsequent interviews. So look at the result neutrally, and we will help you start building this perspective. The next principle is ownership. If after taking an honest look at the situation and we realize that things are not really where we want them to be, under pressure, sometimes we can blame externalities or ourselves. Ownership is really looking at the choices that are available to you at the given point. Ownership does not mean that you have to do everything by yourself. Of course not. This is the distinguishing quality in leaders. Leaders understand that they need to get other people on board, and this only happens when you give somebody, or when you give people what they want, and then people will give you what you want. So, win win is really about understanding the objectives and constraints of your stakeholders. It's only and only if you really understand this that you can offer something that is attractive enough for the other person to get on board with you and help you achieve your goal. The final principle of leadership effectiveness is commitment. Again, the way we define it, alternative leadership is different from how people use it normally. Most of the time, when people use the word commitment, is to describe someone who are really hardworking people. Say, like, commitment is working till midnight, or if somebody is working till midnight, means that person is committed to this project, to this job, to this role. But that's not how we define it. That's not how we are going to use the definition of commitment here. So then what is our definition of commitment? It is that we are going to see commitment in is as equal to result. So commitment, as we define in alternative leadership, is commitment is equal to results, which means if there is no result, there was no commitment to start with. That might seem harsh, too harsh to be very honest, because we have seen people raising eyebrows the moment we say that the commitment is equal to result. But imagine, and if let's say somebody asks, like, okay, if you are saying commitment is equal to result, what if there is an external factor here? What if there are floods or demonetization or coronavirus? What if I don't achieve my target or achieve my goal because of any of these? Are you really saying that I'm not a committed person, or I'm not committed to this project or this goal? I'm afraid the answer is yes. based on the definition that we are giving to you, where commitment is equal to result. If you do not have results, yes, you are not committed. And I know this might seem an unrealistic way of looking at things just now, but please hold on to your thought for now, and without making a decision, hold on and decide at the end of the program, at the end session of your program, whether this way of looking at a result is really helping you or not. And yes, you will have a choice to either adopt it or discard it. So if you look at these principles, if you look at these five principles in totality, and if I can summarize this in a way how leaders think, the first thing is leaders get very clear on how they leaders get clear on how exactly they want to create, what exactly they want to create when it comes to goal or achieving their target, what and how exactly they want to create. Second, they honestly look at the situation, what is working and what is not working. Third aspect is leaders look at what they can do about it. What are the choices available for them? Fourth, who they wants to get on board with them so that they can achieve their goal, and what is that they can offer to somebody to get them on board. And finally, they make commitment to get things done. I would definitely step forward and say everything will seem simple. Looking at five principles coming into a one picture, coming into an whole picture, it may seem simple, and it is, but it is not going to be easy. Okay, in a way, the principles that you will get to learn will be easy throughout the workshop, but it is not going to be it is going to be simple, but it is not going to be easy. So one thing that I meant want to mention is the program is going to be experiential program. It is not going to be an one way program where we are just sharing with you the theory part. Okay, it is going to be an experiential program where you will do the exercise, and through experience will gain insights and benefits out of it. For that to experience, we wanted to give you a taste of it in the introductory session. So I will request Yogesh to give you all the instructions for the exercise so that all of you can experience it. Over to you.
Yeah. So as Akansha mentioned, that it's an experiential workshop. It's not a theoretical workshop where you will just come and relax and do nothing. So it's not a spa. It's actually a gym. You will have to do the hard work, and it's going to be very effective. And this is what we want you to experience, and that is why we are going to do a small exercise, what we call a gratitude exercise. I'm going to share the instruction with you, but if you are here, and so I can assume that you are interested in self improvement, and this leadership workshop is something that you find interesting. So if you really want to understand what we do, then I would request you all that you do this exercise, and you will see the effect of this simple exercise. The exercise is called gratitude exercise. And gratitude, we understand what we mean by gratitude, but gratitude is something we do not share enough in our society. So this simple exercise is going to create a very big impact in your relationship, whoever you choose to share your gratitude with, right? So I would ask all of the participants to just sit and relax, close your eyes, and think of a person who has had a positive influence in your life. This person can be someone from any time in your life. your teacher, your parent, your mentor, your friends, or even a stranger. It's ideal if you can think of someone who is still alive, then you can really understand what we are trying to achieve. Just think about that person. I'm sure that person's name and whole picture have emerged in your mind. Now think of all the reasons why this person has a positive influence in your life, what they did, and why was it meaningful to you, how their actions influence your life in a positive way. So I'm going to give you a minute to really think about that person and think about what they did, how it was meaningful to you. Just take a minute and think about that person. Now, I would like you to write it down. Write down why the name of the person and what they did and why it was meaningful to you. Just write it down. If you don't have a pen and paper in front of you, then there's always phone. You can write down in your notes and everything. So any medium could work. Just write it down what that person names and what they did to you, how it was meaningful to you. I'm again going to give you 2 minutes to write it down, your thoughts. Try to write it in as much detail as possible. Hope you are all with me and hope you have written or just in the way of finishing it. Let me tell you why we choose this activity. So if you see the happiness and we all want to be happy, gratitude is something which is called the strategy of happiness. If you do nothing in your life for your happiness, just share your gratitude towards other persons, toward life in general. It alone can have such a great positive impact in your life on your happiness that it will take care of your happiness no matter what and whatever is going in your life. But to get that benefit, it's just not enough to write it down. So this is the most interesting part. And if you can do it, trusting me, then you'll see what I'm talking about. So I would request you all to bring out your phone, and if that person is in your house, then that is if you can do it in person. So what I want is that you bring out your phone, use WhatsApp, Viber, email, or whatever mode of communication you want to do. The best thing could be if you can just call that person, or if that person is in the same vicinity that you are in, then just go to that person and share the gratitude. Whatever you have written, just share that gratitude. You won't understand what I'm saying. You just need to feel it. So just go and share the gratitude. I'm going to wait for 5 minutes, for 3 4 minutes, for you to do that. You can use WhatsApp or whatever medium you want. Best is you call that person if he's not around, he or she is not around, or if that person is in the same physical space, then just go to that person and share your gratitude. I'm going to wait for 2 3 minutes. So in the meantime, I would request the organizers to give the access to the participants or the attendees to speak and switch on their screens, because I would really like to hear from them.
The access has been already rolled out, sir.
Okay, nice.
Yes,
So if
before we actually
yeah,
get to hear from participants, I would definitely like to share this, that for you to experience how you gain more insights and how emotions, everything comes into picture once you decide to put inputs. By putting inputs, and only by putting inputs you will get the output. So we are sure that all of you or most of you must have acted on the instruction that Kabir just shared. In a minute, once Kabir also share his experience when he did the exercise for the very first time, how it was and who was the person and everything, we would like to hear from our audience. anyone or in any number of people who would like to come and share their experience of doing this exercise. So yeah, over to you, Kabir.
Yeah, sorry. So I from as I said that I since last 6 7 years I'm on the journey of finding what can be the best way to live my life on what purpose I can devote my life to, and one of the those things was happiness. And me and Akanksha both dive into deep into the science of happiness. And as I mentioned, that one of the things that we learn is that a simple act of sharing your gratitude, saying thank you to the person. So we say always say that our parents or are the most important person in our life, but we just say enough thank you to them, thank you which is in detail. So when I learned that a simple activity of gratitude can have so much great impact in life, so I shared my gratitude to my parents on a Diwali night. So I think it was just after my marriage, when I first go to the Deepavali, and I share my gratitude to my father and mother what they have done to me. I come from a very rural background, and coming from that rural background and reaching to IIT Delhi and reaching to the place where I'm right now, and they have had so much great impact in my life. The person I am, I think they have a big hand in that. And when I shared that gratitude with them, I think it was the best Deepavali that we ever shared, because if you leave out the crackers from Deepavali, then I think it's not that exciting festival that we thought it would be. So when I share that gratitude, it was a very uh, emotional moment for me and for my parents, because I have never done that, and it really helped that relationship to again grow to the level that it is today. And so this is a simple act which can create a great impact on the relationship that you think is the most important relationship in your life. So, I would really like to hear from one or two of you, what was your experience? So, as Bissell said, that you already have the access to switch on your mic and videos. So, if you want to be a public leader, this is a public speaker, then this is the best time to practice that skill. We would really like to hear one or two stories, what that who that person is that you share your gratitude with, what you said, and what was the experience. We would really like to hear from any of you. Even the presenters, if they did the exercise, we would like you to come forward and share your experience. Anyone? I can see Abhiram, Abhisar, Ananya, Akshita, Amandeep, Amisha, Ashish, Bhanupriya, anyone who would like to share it.
Yeah, I can share. I think I have done the
Yes, go ahead,
exercise.
Ashish. Yeah, go ahead, Ashish.
I'm
Thank you.
Ashish.
Thank you for coming forward. Go ahead.
So I went to my mother and expressed my gratitude that she motivated me throughout my JE journey. So I never did that. So I did it now. So I just told her that she made a very made she made me she made me what I am now. So the personality that I have now, and the food that she cooked for me. So throughout, she cooks very beautiful food, tasty food. So I thanked her for that, and I thanked her for all the motivations that she provided me throughout my journey. Also, she cried with me also during my journey, because I used to very timid in nature with my personality. So I used to cry a lot because of my marks initially. So she used to cry with me and motivate me that you can do better. So I just thanked her, and it's that.
Okay, and what did you experience when you were sharing that gratitude?
So I was feeling little bit weird because I hadn't done that. So there was a I was it was the feeling was kind of weird, but from inside I was feeling that I was getting relieved from something, that some kind of load was getting out. I was thinking that I had been carrying that load, so I was thinking that some load is getting away from my head or from my heart. So my mother was also becoming very emotional. So this was emotional right for me. So this was a beautiful experience, bro.
Yeah. So, whenever we do this exercise and somebody share that journey, so whenever somebody share that gratitude, the first reaction they get is, "Are you all right?" Right? Because this is something we don't do often, right? So whenever we share your gratitude with parents or some teachers, the first reaction is that, "Are you all right? Why are you saying these things?" Right? Because it's not a norm in our culture. So that makes this exercise quite a bit challenging and quite uh, rewarding. So thank you, Ashish, for sharing your experience. I would really like to hear at least one of uh, at least for one more participants who would like to come forward and share their experience.
If no one from the attendees are going, then I would like to share.
Sure, Vishal, go ahead.
Yeah, so I wrote a note for my father. During my boards time, I was feeling a lot low for one of the tests because I didn't do it a lot well. And for the next test, I didn't had a lot of confidence, like, am I going to do or not? The preparation I have been doing for months, is it like going to worth it or not? So I was not so sure of myself. Also, I was feeling a lot of down. And that time, my father called me and he made me sit beside him. And he said that we have seen you have done so much of work, and we believe that whatever the result may be, we would be proud of you. And no matter, try to give your best. And this is the thing which hit me hard. And since then, I have been trying to do the best out of my possible in everything. And I certainly, in the next test, I did better. Actually, I scored a 100 out of 100 thing, and it really made me happy. So today I just went my father just now, like father is not there, so I wrote the note in text and WhatsApped him. Once he comes home, then I will go him and tell him the thing.
And what did you feel when you were writing that note?
When I was writing that note, first of all, as one of the participants said, it was a weird feeling because it's been it's been years till the moment, and it's not something which we do every day. So it certainly is a weird feeling, but I also had like a proud sort of feeling that I made my father happy and what he tried to convey me get through me. So I felt happy and proud at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Vishal. So we are running out of time. So I would have liked to really hear from more of you, but as I'm saying, so whether you join leadership program or not, it does not matter. But I would really like if you can take away one things from the 1 hour that you have invested with us, is this: whatever I have talked for 30 minutes, don't forget all that, but just take one things with from us, that if you can share your gratitude with your loved ones, the people who have given you so much, or who did something out of their uh, going even ahead of their duty, and if you can just share your gratitude, or if you can just share your gratitude to the world, so the world or the nature, and how much that have provided to you, and it will create so much positive impact on your life. So a simple thing that you can do is you can have a gratitude journal, and if you can write down uh, one thing or two, three things at the end of the day, what you have experienced, what you are grateful about. It can really, really help with your well-being and the positivity, all the positivity that you need in your life. So going ahead, the last thing we want to convey to you is the structure of the program, how we are going to do it. So over to you, Akansha.
Yep. First of all, very thank you for doing this exercise and sharing your experience with us. Moving forward, I will quickly share what is the structure of this program. So the program will take up for 4 sessions, 4 online sessions. Why 4 online sessions is that just gaining an insight would not help you create a permanent change in your life. Just an aha moment will not help you build a new habit. Building new habit takes time. Bringing a change in life take times. So that is why we have divided this program in 4 online sessions. 4 sessions. Throughout this time, we will help you develop these leadership skills in you. We will help you form new habits, because there will be time in between each of the sessions, and we will be holding you accountable for the habits that you want to really form moving forward with us. It is not going to be easy, as I previously mentioned, that it is simple. Everything sounds simple, to be very honest. Everything which we are not doing and somebody else is doing seems simple. A soldier fighting on a in a war, a prime minister leading a country, to a startup owner running his startup. Everything seems simple when we are not doing it, but it's not easy once we start actually putting our efforts. And you will explore what makes it hard and how to develop the way of thinking, so that you can achieve outcomes, the goals that you really want in your life to manifest. And hence, these are the 4 week program with 4 sessions. So what we have done is we have divided the whole program into 2 parts in a way. Theory part will be the pre-work that we will provide to you and give you time of like 5 6 days to complete it. Pre-work will be a Google form where you will get to see videos where we are introducing you with the concepts of leadership, and there will be questionnaire you will be answering based on the videos, as well as self introspecting questions. It will take around 1 hour max. Okay. And the second part is where we will meet in the live sessions. 4 live sessions will happen, and we will be meeting in those live sessions. In live sessions, there will not be any theory. Believe me, कोई पीपीटी खोल के नहीं बैठेगा. We will not be sharing any ppt, because there is nothing to teach you in the sessions. In the actual live sessions, we will be having conversations. We will be having exercises where through experience we'll be gaining more insights. You will get to know more of us, our fears, our challenges, our goals that we are working on, and we will get to know you, and in a way we will help you. So theory and practice, that is how we have divided the the whole program. So theory will take approximately 1 hour. The live sessions will take a time of 2 to 2.5 hours, depending the number of participants in it. So in a way, you have approximately, if I say, 3 to 3.5 hours of engagement per week. 1 hour of pre-work and 2 to 2.5 hours of actual live sessions. And this is how we'll be executing the whole workshop. I'll request Kabir to take it to the next slide. So we will be sharing a registration form today. I think in the group we will share it after we end this program, this session. Today is Sunday. Your registrations last, I mean, deadline is Monday midnight, which is tomorrow midnight. And after that, we will close the registration link. The four sessions that I talked about will take place on 11th, the very first session. Next week, we are actually tight on schedule and we will be traveling. So we are not starting with the next Saturday. We are starting with the 11th June Saturday. So these session will only take place on Saturday. So first session on 11th, 18th, 25th, and then 2nd of July, we will have our last session. After the last session, after completing the last session and successfully completing the whole program, you will definitely get certificates from us for successfully graduating the workshop. I mean the program. So this is how the structure of the program is. Now we are aware that we are running out of time, but we would definitely take a 1 or 2 minute for any questions the participants have, any query that we can help resolve and help you decide whether you want to enroll or not enroll for the program.
Anything we need to pay?
Sorry.
Was there a question? We actually couldn't hear you. I mean, sorry.
Bishal, would you be able to share the registration form with all the students?
Yeah, I will be.
I am confused. Am I audible? Is my internet not working well? I'm like, I cannot hear even visual. Okay. I think we will take it as there are no question. I'm sure Vishal will share the registration link in the group once we end this session. And yes, tomorrow midnight is the last date. Yes. In my closing remarks, I would only share my experience of doing the same workshop few years back. It was, I think, 6 years back when I did this similar program. It has definitely changed my life, and it is one of those programs where people actually say that it is a transformational program because I was, I think, 21 or 22, and I really wanted to explore option in my career. I just didn't wanted to start with a job in a private sector and just be stuck there in a loop, trying to chase the carrot, just like a rabbit is chasing the carrot. And I wanted to really find and explore an option of career where I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and it's also fulfilling, and it's also adding value in my life as well as anybody's else life. I didn't definitely wanted to just sit behind computer or just do some work which is not in a way giving me sense of purpose, sense of meaning in life. And I was exploring a lot of ways. How can I figure it out? How can I find my purpose in life? Does it is it there anything called purpose in life? And once I did the whole program, I think I started owning the options that I had. I started owning the decisions I had thought कि मैं 5 साल बाद 10 साल बाद करूंगी, which was to explore entrepreneurship after 5 6 years. पैसे बचा के थोड़ा बहुत management का experience लेके and all of that. And I realized if it's not today and it's never going to be, or I don't know 5 साल बाद क्या होगा. And I owned the decision, I owned the risk, and that's how I joined Kapir, who was already on the mission to help people gain more awareness. And together we are exploring, we are running this alternative leadership, and the whole program helped me to take up the risk and start working on the dream that I had. And we are on the mission to train 10K students in the next 2 3 years. And it would be really helpful, and it would be really great if people from today's session decide to join our workshop, because in a way you will be helping us achieve our goal, and we will be helping you achieve the skills that will help you not just survive but thrive in the next coming decades. Because yes, when I was in my college, there was nothing like this developer, being a web developer and everything, those skills. And the decades had changed, the skills have changed. By the time you will be 25, 28, 30, the skills are going to change. The hard skills, the technical skills, but the permanent skills, you will need them. So, yes, happy for being today on this session, and excited to see some of you, or probably all of you, on the other side of the session. Thank you.
Yeah, so if we don't have any questions, so we would really like to
Actually,
yeah,
sir, actually, I do have a question.
yeah, Praveen, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that insightful session, to both of you, sir, Yogesh sir and Akanksha ma'am. Yeah, I want to confirm that. I want to know that is it a free workshop or paid any amount is to be paid to enroll into the workshop?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Akansha, did you get the question?
So,
Yeah,
if I got the name, Praveen is asking, is there a monetary
yeah.
commitment for
Okay.
this workshop? It's
No,
a pro bono workshop. I mean, this
no.
program.
Yeah, so we talked with Vishal, and I think my voice is getting it. Akansha.
Okay, so I can take it forward. The communication has been done with the team. So this is going to be a pro bono workshop program where you do not need to pay anything. Okay, this is completely free workshop.
Yeah, you are paying with your time.
The effort you have to take is fill the registration form.
Yeah, we will definitely do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. So if there's no question, we can then close the session. We can close
Yeah,
today's session.
yeah. So I would really like to thank Akansha, if you can switch off your mic
Link for
because
the
it is getting echoed from your side. Okay, thank you. So I would really like to thank Bishal for taking the initiative, right? So we started online sessions some 8 months before, and I was really skeptical whether the students would respond to such an event, because believe me, this is not something anybody is doing for students, and this is something which is very popular in corporate world. We really wanted to bring that self awareness which people generally get in their 30s or 40s. So we thought if we can create that self-awareness in the 20s when students are really just entering the workforce, when the whole life is ahead of them, and if we can bring that self-awareness, then it can really impact students. But we were very skeptical whether the students would respond to that. And with each day I'm understanding that you guys are very open to new suggestions, open to new workshop, and Bishal really helped me with that. And so I would really like to thank all the presenters who are here, and Bishal for taking the initiative. Hope to see you all on 11th, and this is a completely free workshop. You only pay with your time, and hope to see you all. And believe me, after the 4 week, we are going to be the best buddies. You are going to know all our secret. We are going to know all your secret. So hope to see you all. Meet you new friends. Thank you.
Yeah, sir. Actually, I have another question.
Yadro.
Yeah, it's Praveen. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, you are audible. Go ahead with your
Yeah,
question.
yeah. Can we share the registration form with our friends who are out of IITs so that they
Yeah,
can also?
definitely. Yeah, definitely. Bring as so it will be more effective if we have large number of participants. So share the registration form with all your friends. Try to bring your at least one buddy with you so that he can be part of your journey. He can help you uh, doing all the exercise, and you can help them doing your exercise. So growing is really a community thing. So feel free to share the registration form with all your friends. There's no restriction.
Yeah, I would step forward and say and go beyond that. There's no need to just bring one buddy. You can bring as many buddies as you can. Okay, so no worries in sharing the form outside your college or your group. We will be happy to welcome all of them.
Yes, so I guess this brings us to the end of this session. We would like to thank Yogesh sir and Akanksha ma'am. Also, we would like to thank all the participants for joining us. Thank you, ma'am and sir.
Can you share?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank
See
you.
you all on 11.